Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am rocking the casual Friday attire. I am not going outside. I don't even remember when I've been outside last. I mean, this is casual Friday every day for me, but this is extra casual Friday. You see this skin color that I got here, this tan. That's an LCD tan from the fucking monitors. I am definitely deficient in vitamin D. So let's get to some stocks. I guess we're just going to take a look at a few. Appen, let's just start with Appen. This is the Ramatron stock. Oh my god. Line wipes for days. Now this looks really, I don't know. This doesn't look particularly great on the daily. Like just like when you look at how it trades, I'm not saying it doesn't look good. Like it definitely looks good. What I'm saying is that look at the setup. Like what is this? Just arches over, pumps, just some bullish engulfing into retesting this 87 level, into just this rollover, into again another Ramatron, into a pullback that doesn't even retest. I guess it does retest, so, and then just rams again to this second profit target. Again, these are TA levels that we worked with ages ago, and they're still relevant. It kind of just didn't hold support here, so we dropped a couple of ticks here, whatever, back in the day. And this was like, wow, May. It feels like forever ago. But yeah, just Ramatron. I don't even know what this was. The earnings, is there an announcement? I don't know. I don't remember. There's evidently a catalyst. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about the actual trading of this dog shit stock. Now, the reason it's dog shit is because it just trades a little bit funny. It just trades a bit funny. Let's take a look at yesterday where it sort of hits this key level here. There's like a dollar magnet. We hit 97, completely rolls over and closes at 90. From 97 to 90, huge pullback, can't stay above VWAP, high volumes to the upside, pukes it, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is going to be a bit of a theme, I think, for the next couple of weeks, is just stuff doesn't really make too much sense. So APX is unusual in how it trades intraday. Today was a little bit more sensible. It's sort of like out of nowhere, gapped up from 90 to 95 because fucking why not? On a no catalyst announcement or anything like that, let's just gap up today. Why not? It's Friday, casual pumps. And then it just launches its way through a dollar. A dollar has zero resistance, mind you. I think it pulled back for about a minute and then just rammed. The funny thing about this one is, like, I guess you don't get the full context because I don't have the order book, but the bids are always non-existent. They're relatively thin. The offers are quite thick, but everyone's lifting the offer. And then when things start rolling over, as you can see here, they wick down, one big volume panic pukes, and then it just recovers slowly and just makes its way to the upside with the ugliest looking book. So yeah, obviously once it hit this sort of 9-cent range, so $1.09, there was a couple of people holding it in Discord. So it was like, I mean, look at that candle. Basically it hit 109, 109.5. This is the profit target that we identified from way back. That's still probably relevant. Wouldn't surprise me if there was like a move to 116. I mean, everyone and their dog can see this level, probably a pullback. Now, whether it pulls back from this kind of area that it's in for maybe in a couple of red days, similar to what it's been doing before, just cools off before it pumps again. And that's if it pumps again as well. Man, I don't know what to make of Appen. I really don't. What are the Qs doing? I mean, Appen used to follow the Qs quite nicely. And okay, so it's ramming to the upside. That's definitely helping because back in, where was it, May, as the Qs were launching, Appen moved quite nicely alongside the Qs. You typically find some correlation, which is quite nice. So here's just an absolute horrific gap down that I ended up taking. So I'm going to just turn off this anchored VWAP. And we're just going to look at it intraday and just show you guys how I nearly made my way to Bunnings and got a few feet of a rope. So gap down, perfect. There was a match to the short side. Wicks down because my suspicion is that all the stops get triggered, or a variety of stops get triggered right on match. Wicks down, straight back up, flips to the upside, 397. Of course, $4, right? Okay, if it's going to hit $4 on a down day of how many percent of 10% down from 440 to $4, it's about a 10% down day. So of course, naturally, we wick down and then just textbook standard play. We shoot back above open price for some reason, and then we shoot past the $4 level, and then we hit 407. Now, we don't typically see a fake out that goes this far out. I mean, yeah, we see $4, you get to 401, 402, then you reverse and then puke it or something like that, especially on a day like on this day. It should have been, in hindsight, if I was to go back and really analyze what the fuck I was doing. The match wasn't particularly great, but I did add on the second candle here as it came back to retest the open price. And then just flipped it long, so took a couple of ticks cut on that. And then as it rallied through 407, thank fuck I didn't, do anything there, but it came back down to $4 and $4.01, so I went long. Because that's usually what you do when you break 7 ticks above a $4 round number like that. And then get stopped out again at 396-ish, 397. I can't recall exactly, but basically it was cut from the downside short, cut on the upside long, cut on the downside short, and it was just chop, chop, choppity chop. It was pretty rough. So VWAP was a magnet. One of the worst trades I think in existence is when a stock trades where VWAP is a magnet as opposed to a repulsor, right? VWAP tends to do one of two things. It either attracts to VWAP, so whether it shoots through it, it goes back up, and then kind of just has this little wave, as you can see, it just fucks around at VWAP. A repulsor is where it just, let's say it comes from the underside, hits VWAP, and just rejects straight away. And that's it. You might see it one more time later on in the day as VWAP comes down, and then it just rejects it off it again. So rejection of VWAP is fantastic. Attraction to VWAP is absolutely horrifying to trade. I can't stand stocks like this. This one butchered me, like absolutely butchered me. It just is what it is. Now, I prepared today to trade NUF with the mindset of don't take the open. Just don't take maybe the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, because I know what happens, right? It breaks down, retest VWAP. My thinking is going to be, of course, it's going to be a short there. It's down 10% for the last couple of days. It's gapping down even more, so it's going to be a stronger short. No, not in this market. No, not in this stock as well. So let it go. My idea was at this point in time, throughout the day, was short it at 402. So the idea is to break above $4, similar to the play over here, except have no long side exposure to this thing, because I should not have a long side exposure to it. So I guess to 402, and it just does nothing all fucking day. So I end up top picking it effectively, and just I make a tick. Waste of a time. I understand. I was in a couple of other trades, and we'll go over those as well. AZJ, I just want to talk about this one because this didn't happen today. This was last week, but I just want to point out how lovely of a trade this was. This is the kind of textbook shit I just wish happened more often. Now, you guys know I love my range breaks. You guys know this. This is my go-to. I am a momentum trader. I love my Momo. So opening range break, catch the range break. There's no retest, that's fine. We anticipated the range break. Volumes came in, volumes collapsed. It boom fucking boom. Oh, it was beautiful. My god, AZJ was just lovely to the downside, and it's just one of those things where you just let it chill and it just dies all day. So one of the best things to keep an eye out for is how strong is that move to VWAP. And wow, look at that gap between the price and VWAP, right? It's 2 ticks. I get it. It's 2.5 cents, but it doesn't get there. It just never, ever gets to VWAP or even close. So I love trades like that, especially if they can't touch VWAP. Then it's just like you can let these things typically go. At least that's what I do. When things don't get to VWAP, I hold on to my shorts even more so. I like, instead of just holding it for maybe an hour or two, I might hold it for all day or close to all day. So it's lovely when these things happen. And DHG was very similar. You can see a gap up. I believe the earnings read good, so if you just read them with no context, they read quite well, but they missed targets and expectations and whatnot, so they ended up collapsing. So we'll go through. I'll turn off anchored VWAP because you don't need that. we have a sick range developed in the 2 minutes that it was open, like right from open 335 to 320, 15-cent range on a $3 stock in 2 minutes time. This was weird. Anyway, typical range break. We catch the range break. We shorted it in anticipation. I think it was somewhere in here. This was right before the actual, it could have even been that candle, I don't recall, but it was somewhere around here. Started a short, got an early position, seeing how it just came off VWAP and looking like it's going to roll over. The odds of this hitting a double bottom and coming back up, super low. In this market especially, quite low. So breakdown. And because the range is so big, the likelihood of it coming back to retest seems lower. This is something I was talking about earlier today, but I think that's more of an intuitive thing rather than a, I don't have any data analytics on that, but my intuition tells me that this is how the play, this play happens more often. Right, when there's a very big range right on the open relative to the denomination, right? That it's probably not going to get back up. So this was actually extremely dull today. Like as it was chilling here, the volumes are super low. Order book was very thin. It felt like, it could easily have popped to retest, which I was waiting for the retest to add on to the short because classic trade. But it just rolls over, and 310 was the first target, purely from a range-based perspective, so that was fine. I think it was 309 or 310, I can't recall, but there's that. I was targeting obviously $3 or 301, but it never ended up getting there, at least not in the morning session. Of course, you can see it goes sideways, and then it ends up. See what? Put in a video. Don't go meowing at me. Fucking hell. Demanding. So it ends up rolling over ever so slowly, and of course it breaks the $3 level, and when it does, usually 297, 296 is the target, ends up going to 295, which is fine. It's it's a nice little move, and it ends up just doing nothing for the rest of the day. And this one's causing me all the drama. Wanting attention. How distracting it is. Your paw is smacking up. So yeah, that's DHG in a nutshell. Just really clean, but really slow once the opening drive just died down. I'm not used to it. I'm really not used to this. I don't know what it is. Like, for me, this earnings season feels a bit low liquidity. Much, I don't know. It doesn't even sound like I'm speaking English. It feels like less liquidity than normal. These kind of things where there's a massive range in just 2 minutes. It's like, what is that? That's not particularly normal. These moves feel slower. These breakdowns aren't like with strong volume and conviction. I'm feeling pretty on edge this entire time because the offer was so thin, and the tape was so slow. It was just slowly rolling over, and it kind of just leaves me on edge a little bit. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this market in particular. Sort of just cruising, I've got new rules that I've set in place for myself, and that's don't take any trades in the first 8 to 10 minutes or so. Let a chart develop because the volatility in the open is so shitty. It's not really doing well for me. And, I've got a bunch of guys in Discord calling out stocks that I haven't really been paying attention to and just bringing opportunities, which is awesome. So that's all well and good. And I usually don't advertise stuff like WAP.com. I've got a course that I've made, pretty much condensing everything in this YouTube channel, condensing everything I know over the last 10 years of trading, and just putting it into just one 3.5 hour sort of place where you can just watch it, right, in chapters. So everything I know condensed into 3.5 hours, no fluff, maybe a couple of minutes of fluff, but it's all compact, it's all there, it's all no nonsense, no bullshit, just straight up everything I do every day. That's all it is. It's just the same thing I do every day. I call it the beginner's guide, not because the content is necessarily for beginners, but I think it's called the beginner's guide because it's what I wish someone told me when I first started. It highlights what I need to know if I'm a beginner, or what I would like to have known if I had started all over again. Just all the relevant things, like all the relevant chart setups, why they matter, what's VWAP, why is it important, what are range breaks, why are they important, how to read fundamentals and which fundamentals are important, what about ranges, what about timings, things like that. So just a little bit of everything compact in one spot. So if you guys want to check that out, it's in the description below. Otherwise, guys, I'm absolutely fucking knackered. I'm gonna go nap right away, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. Peace.